I.S.S. In this video, we're going to make a review of a brand new movie that came out this year, 2024, about the International Space Station. And I'm pumped up. When I saw the commercial, I said to myself, I got to go check that movie out. It looks crazy. Now, in this review, I'm going to tell you what are some of the good things that I thought about it, some of the bad things that I think it should be changed because nothing is perfect. And my whole idea of what I thought of the movie is one of the movies that I just recently went to see. And if you're really into those type of movies, space movies, modern movies, well then stick around and stay tuned while I go over what I thought. Before I go over it, I want to show you guys a review, the trailer that's available for the movie now. Now, I'm going to play the trailer. And as I play the trailer, I'm going to pause it and give you guys my opinion about it. Now, I always wanted to do a movie review, so hopefully you enjoyed it. And if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We up to 1,300 subscribers and growing, but we need your help. And I hope you enjoyed this review. Now, I.S.S., that's the International Space Station. Check out the trailer.
From all of us out here in Mission Control, welcome to space.
The Russians always knock 3 times. I think it's just a superstition.
Real quick premise. So we're talking about the International Space Station that's ran by Russia and the United States. Already when they get there, it's 3 Americans joining 3 Russians that are already there. 2 male, 1 female on the Russian side, 2 male and 1 female on the American side. And this is what you're looking at. The International Space Station, United States and Russia collaboration. So already from the beginning, they're pumping it up. Like we work with Russia, the United States work with Russia.
Into the wind of change.
Wow. We have seen pictures, but this is...
We don't talk politics. Here we're one.
Hey guys.
Wait a minute, what the hell is going on down there?
Oh, whoa.
We gotta get up now, guys. Let's get out.
Oh my God.
Now the movie tries to build suspense between Russia and the United States, right? Because most people watching the movie, they're not scientists, they're not astronauts, they're regular people. And it's all we know, that there's friction between those 2 countries and always on the brink of war. In this particular scene, you see the rockets or the nuclear bombs going off, and it's the beginning of World War III, according to the movie, of course.
You sent or you read.
War has broken out below. And we were told to take the I.S.S. by any means necessary.
So that's a tension right there. The Americans were told to take over I.S.S. and the Russians were also told to take over I.S.S. And there's the friction, right? There's the suspense because, hey, we got to maintain your attention and got to maintain the viewers paying attention to the movie. Suspense.
If we got orders from our government to take control,
What do you suggest we do now?
the Russians got the same orders as us. And they just struck first.
Struck first.
It turns out in space, they can hear you scream.
Mutually. We're evolved species.
ISS. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. Let's start with the bad. One thing that I didn't like, right? You don't have to be a scientist or a space junkie to know this, but just keeping up with what's going on. From my understanding, space is just survival, human survival. Getting there, you're lucky. Once you're there, it's all about maintaining your physical health, right? They got you running tracks, they got you clocking down how much are you sleeping, how much are you eating, everything is noted, and that's it. And those people in the ISS, they only got each other, right? So you're working on keeping yourself alive and keeping everybody else in the ISS alive. Here in this movie, because they are in conflict, they try to make it seem like if something is going on Earth, that transferred to the ISS, and now in the movie they go ahead and fight each other, one team trying to kill the other team, which to me, like, is not the smart thing to do. Just in general, as scientists who are trying to survive, how about getting back down to Earth and then figuring out your differences? Here, for the movie's sake, because the movie is an hour and a half long, they try to make it like there were conflict between the two teams and they start fighting each other. So for me, that's difficult to comprehend just as an adult watching two groups of people just fighting to survive. I don't think they would try to be trying to take themselves out. But then again, if they don't do that for the movie, then it's not really much of a movie. Um, on the positive, so yeah, the graphics were great. All the specs, the special effects, making themselves floating. Like they must have done a lot of work just to keep themselves floating, appearing to be in space. Making a movie where you want the characters to appear to be in space and everything else also. So I give them credit on that. Again, building the suspense that because on Earth they're fighting and arguing with one another, that means I transferred to ISS. Now, another thing is this. Okay, so the movie, spoiler alert, the movie ends with only two people being alive, and those two people getting on a capsule and going back to Earth. If America is at war with Russia, from what we all see, the capsule lands on the water, and then one of the boats got to go pick them up. So I wonder who's picking them up. Like they could end up landing on Earth and they're just floating until they die. So because the movie ends on them getting on a capsule and going back to Earth, and then that's it, it leaves a lot of questions. Like now what? What's next? Where are they going? Right? Who are they landing to? Like two countries battling it out with nuclear bombs. That's like the beginning of the end of Earth. So if they're going to go back, where are they going back to? Where you have everybody at war and everything coming to an end. So that's the end. That's the ending of the movie. To me, that just says maybe a part two. Oh, you know what's interesting? Two more things that I wanted to point out. I was happy that they didn't have anything woke on the movie. They have regular men and regular women. No superly strong women trying to be He-Man or trying to be the strong one in the team. No. So there was no woke nonsense because I'm getting tired of all of that. The superhuman girl who's running the ship, and thanks to her fighting off the bad guys and beating them up, she's strong enough to do all of that. Sick and tired of the whole woke narrative. And secondly, what was the other thing that I was happy about? World War III. This is like the third movie that is coming out this year, 2024, talking about World War III, right? They already have two movies scheduled to come out, one in February, one in March, I think they're both in March. It shows us going into World War III, nuclear holocaust. So then this movie is a World War III movie where it shows what happens to our relationship in space even once World War III starts. So we got to see the beginning of World War III and how does it look from space? Just bombs exploding, nobody answering the phone, and the people in that ship having to fend for themselves. And like I said, again, I don't think it's going to go that far. I'm assuming these are scientists who know better, who could just talk about going back to Earth. But that's my review of ISS, International Space Station. I don't think it was funny. Action-wise, they did the best. They did the best that they could. Let me bring this up. Horror, they just show people dying. Estoy haciendo un review, espérate. Dame un segundo. Again, if you stuck around and still watching this video, go ahead and subscribe. Verbal on Life, we up to 1,300 subscribers and growing, but we need your help. Hopefully you enjoy this review. If I see more views and more likes to this review, I'll do more. Otherwise, I'll move on to other topics, you know? And I do suggest you go watch the movie. It's only an hour and a half. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't want to watch it again because to me, it was too far-fetched. The idea that scientists will fight one-on-one and one of them kill the other in space, that was beyond my belief. You really got to suspend your belief and think that they're really going to do that. So with that, let me let you guys go. See you guys on the next video. Peace. Verbal on Life.